Good morning, traders. This is Thursday, the 15th of June. My name's Mark Owen, and it's the morning update from Phoenix Blue. Okay, so we had an interesting day in the markets yesterday. Big news coming out of the US with the FOMC increasing interest rates as forecast. But in the statement afterwards, there's some definitely more hawkish tonalities coming out of their words, expecting further unemployment to decline, employment to continue to increase, and also the risks globally they saw as balanced, and expecting further rate hikes in December. Goldman Sachs are forecasting a normalization of the balance sheet to start in September. So there's quite a lot of positives coming out of the US, although the data yesterday wasn't particularly good, and it gave the market opportunity to try and shake some of us out. Admittedly, I got taken out on a short position on euro because I was trading what I explained yesterday morning about the dollar index being sat on the lows and potential double bottom of a channel, commercials buying the dollar index and selling the euro massively. So I was predicting the double bottom. Unfortunately, I did get taken out on the spike, but that's the way it crumbles. It has taken me into a couple of other trades though. I will be short euro actually as we speak now. It's just triggered. And through the night I was taken into gold, which we'll have a look at that soon. Okay, so the news throughout the night, we had employment change coming out of Australia, which absolutely smashed the forecast, and unemployment rate reducing by 0.2%. So really good figures coming out of the Aussie dollar, and you'll see that as it's breached 7,600, approaching the key levels of around 76.80 to 7,700 would be the key area there. 8:30 in roughly about 11 minutes, we're going to have the LIBOR rate coming out of the Swiss economy and their monetary policy assessment, followed by a press conference. The Swiss can be a little bit unpredictable at times, so we are forecast to stay the same, but it'll be interesting to see what they say. So any trades regarding the Swiss franc, please be careful. And then from 9:30 through till midday, or probably till 12:30, we've got news coming out of sterling retail sales. Then we've got the official bank rate votes, followed by the policy summary, and then the bank rate. This all forecast to remain the same. However, these are things that we can't be certain of, and especially with the changes that have just been going off in the UK with the Parliament, will there be any changes here on the bank rate votes? Who knows? And then 1:30, again, we've got unemployment claims coming out of the US. This is forecast at 241. Any sort of number, give or take, within sort of 4,000 or 5,000 of that number, you're probably not going to see anything. But if we saw a 15 to 20% variance, so something around 35,000 variance above or below, I think we'd see some kind of major move on the US dollar. And then last thing of the day, at 9 p.m. tonight, we've got the Bank of England Governor Mark Carney speaking. Probably sends shockwaves through the sterling again, as he likes to do. Usually sends it pretty much yo-yo-like, so be very careful trading sterling today if you are going to do so. Ultimately, I'd advise staying away from some of these markets. Okay, so dollar index. This is a little bit similar to what I showed you yesterday, obviously. But yesterday, when the market was selling off and it was coming down into this 96.39, 96.40 area, as you can see, we've got a clear hammer rejecting that level. I'm forecasting that we're going to push up towards the top of this channel, which will mean a break of that short-term trend line. So if we do see that, that's going to be a signal to sell euro, a signal to be buying dollar yen predominantly. They'll be the two markets that we'd look at, or selling gold. So here we are, euro. When I screenshotted this chart this morning, you can see the seller candle currently sat within this little diamond top that we'd drawn here. It's now broken out of this, and we have been triggered short. Current price, I'm not quite sure, but it was around entry point, which was 1.1190. I will be looking at taking some profits off midway through the range, and then looking at this market to potentially run down to 108s, and then we'll see what the market's doing at that point. This is a seasonal time where we can usually see a top in euro. I was expecting it to push higher prior to forming a top. However, we are out of structure. The commercials do have pretty much all-time highs in short contracts, so this will be a market we definitely look at wanting to sell for a period of time. Dollar yen, we can see that within this weekly chart here, you can see this market has been sort of consolidating. We've got lower highs and higher lows over the longer time frame. And within this symmetrical triangle, we are currently at the 50% retracement of the last sort of major move. And it's rejecting that point. So if we are going to see dollar strength there, I would expect to see a push up towards the top of that symmetrical triangle. So sterling, we can see what we highlighted yesterday and been highlighting for pretty much last week or so. Markets come right into our resistance area, that grey box. We've got a lovely little shooting star, doji, rejecting that level. Technically, I'm short this market. Fundamentally, I'm short this market. But we've got major news out today, and really you could just get triggered in and spiked out. So if it is a trade you're going to take, do it at small risk, and trade according to your rules and risk management. Dollar CAD, like the look of this chart, long-term channel, very clear, hammer rejecting the bottom of the trend line. We can also see that there's over to the left some nice structure going left as well. I do prefer the support trend line rather than the horizontal that we can see, but expecting upside here. With the pressure on oil as well to drop further, I do see upside here. So gold yesterday, this is one that I was forecasting to see further downside on. It didn't start the day off very well and was pushing up higher, and few colleagues and other traders are saying, I told you I was going to go long. At the end of the day, we have a judgment and we call it a certain way, but I see this as going down, and I see it hitting somewhere around that lower support line, at which point I'll be looking to take this market long. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to drop you down to the daily chart and show you what I was looking at. So where we see this candle here, this is where people were looking to get long, and yeah, they may have made money and it may have gone up quite nicely, but I've got two positions sat here. One which was midway through here at 1266. This triggered through the night. This was roughly around the daily pivot. And then the other one is an end of day order based on yesterday's candle, and I'll be looking to target the bottom of that channel. At the bottom of that channel will be decision time, where we'll be looking to see whether we're going to take this market back to the upside, and if we are, then there'll be a very nice stop and reverse trade. Okay, so that's it pretty much from the markets today. That's the news done. Under request, we've been asked, because we sent out a little email about 3 or 4 days ago regarding a meetup for traders, and this is something that we've been asked a lot to do. So next month we're going to be having a meetup. We're going to do 2 meetups, one for beginner traders, so people that would like to know a little bit more about trading. Come and just have a general chat. We're going to host this in London. The dates will be confirmed, but if you want advance notice on this, because there will be limited spaces, if you just drop us an email to info@phoenixblue.co.uk. And then the other session will be for experienced traders, where we'll be looking at risk management, we'll be looking at maybe commitment of trader signals, seasonality, we'll be looking at price action entries, different types of technical analysis, some fundamentals, talking about certain macro conditions that are going on at the moment, Trumponics, his recent defeat in Supreme Court, all these different things. These will be things that we'll be talking about. Anything that you want, if you've got any topics that you'd like talking about, we'll do that. So guys, please stay in touch. Drop us a comment on YouTube, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Phoenix Blue Trading. So that's it from today. Remember, it is another heavily induced day of news, so be careful. Trade according to your rules. Don't over risk, don't over leverage, put yourself in awkward positions, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Okay, bye bye.